raising black men in the society.
Right.
Okay, we'll have to see. So after that, one of the ladies, I asked her son, like, she said he was dating, and I asked her, like, is the girl black? And that's how we got to this. Because what I had noticed is a lot of young boys that look like grow up to be older, that's like chose a different path in life, and not all of them, but a lot of them, like, they choose a different path in life. They end up with women outside of their race, and I'm not talking about like ghetto boys, like bad, like they be like real good nerdy, like into school, into like their art, stuff like that, and they end up with white women. So I asked that, and Mad Day, can you tell them what you had told me that your brothers had said real quick?
Hey, everybody. Sorry, T. I was like, I knew you was going to ask me. I was getting in the car. Hold on.
Wait, before you say that, I had gave a couple examples, okay? So one of the examples that I gave was proximity. Like maybe, like trying to, when you have parents that's trying to get their kids in better neighborhoods, better school system, better districts, so they may now grow up with that. So that was one of the things that I did notice, that there can be something where proximity.
Yeah. I ain't gonna be up here too long. I'm gonna just address the prompt and then I'm gonna drop.
Yeah,
down.
just give me 1 second. I just want to break it all down to why we here. Like, this ain't no bashing nobody kind of conversation. It's just the way the conversation went. So we talked about proximity, and then Mad Day, you can go ahead and tell what.
Okay. So hey, everybody, can you hear me, T? Because I'm in the mountain. So both of my brothers are married to white women. And I asked one of my brothers, I was like, why don't you date, like, why aren't you married to a black woman? Not saying that he hasn't dated black women, he's dated them. But I was like, why didn't you marry a black woman? He said because he didn't want to wake up to my mother every day. And I also asked my mom last night, like, if that hurt her feelings or whatever. But she ended up saying no, because she understood that what he was around growing up, he did not want to wake up to that. He didn't want to wake up to certain traits that he got, from our mom. And I was like, well, does that mean that, like, you feel a way about black women? Do you feel like, it's easier? And my brothers, they're very much so, they would consider themselves nerds. Like my kids would consider themselves nerds, right? And they say that the black women really put them in a stereotype of you need to act a certain way, and they don't. They like listening to classical music, especially my sons. Like, they like listening to classical music. They draw. They know what I mean? They don't play sports. They don't play sports at all. So it's like, my brother was saying that he's not attracted to
trying to build one, but because there's so many people who are not seeing the changes, like Proxy said, that how the community and the world is going, we're stuck at a standstill. We can't move forward because we're not having these conversations and actually coming up with a solution and sticking to the solution.
I think we're having them, but it's so much
when
of a war.
We disagree.
I think if we're having these conversations, it goes into gender wars and blaming and finger pointing, and it's not really the like. And of how this all
how it all started, and that's what we have to do. We have to get to the. It's going to feel uncomfortable. Do you think it feels comfortable for me to know that as a black intersex bisexual woman, that if it was the 1930s, I would be hanging from a tree because I am a black bisexual intersexual woman? Like, come on now. Like, we gotta have these conversations. We can't sit here and be like, oh, well, it's because women aren't being submissive no more, or it's because of this or this or this, or it's because of patriarchy or this or this. Like, we have to really get to the root, and if we don't get to the root, we're gonna keep going in circles. With that, go ahead and drop me. I'm gonna drop down for people that want to come up.
Thank you, boo.
Hey.
You're welcome.
Hey, T, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, you can say something.
Yeah, I want to say something.
Just drop me.
Go ahead.
I want to say something to May. Because me and Mayday were saying, I was talking in the comments, and I said, "Oh, damn, your mother must have been evil, an evil woman." And the reason why, as a black man and as a man, if I was to say I don't want to wake up to see my mom's face every day, as meaning I don't want to wake up to a black woman every day, to me that sounds like my mother was an evil person. That's why I said I assumed that she was an evil person because of a black man saying that about his mother. So do you understand? That's why I said that, Mayday. That's why. That's why I said that.
Mad Day.
Mad Day. Sorry, Mad Day. Sorry, Mad Day. Mad Day. My fault. My fault. That's the only reason why I said that. That's why I said I'm assuming that because of if a man says I don't want to wake up to see my mother every day, to me, that means that she was the evil to him. No, she must not be there.
She might got bad service.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Are we gonna continue the conversation? Who else? Who's up?
I
just said that.
I didn't know PQ. If you, I think she's not. She's not.
Oh, she's purposely not.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It is what it is. We were going back and forth in the comments, so that's why I wanted to say what I said. That's why.
And I didn't know if you had anything else to say. I know you were waiting for some time. I didn't want to just keep cut off. Mayday and her refusing to respond. I don't know which is funny. I'm sorry.
my fault. The Mayday thing. I don't have my glasses on.
I said last night my nephew was the same way when my sister was a little like tougher. Before she had got like, out of her like, stage. She still is firm, but she was a little toxic back in the day. And like my nephew, I remember like he did not want to date black girls. He's with a black woman now, but he didn't want to date black girls. And I remember asking him, and he was like, "Cause my mom." Like he did say that, but I think it was like I said. I think it's the toughness, and I think a lot of times black women raising black men as a single mom, they think they have to be more really dominant and really like have to have that male side of them, and they don't. And I think that may be it. Not so much as that they're evil, but they try to pick up where they feel they're lacking, where that masculinity side of it. So they try to do what they think a man would do, which is why I think that the guy's like, oh,
they apply it wrong. It's kind of like knowing the formula but not applying it right. Like I see a lot of people do that. Like on the red pill side specifically, like they'll regurgitate talking points, but they don't do the research themselves to really get the meats and potatoes of it. So when they go and apply what they heard, they repeat back what they heard. They don't know how to use emotional regulation with it. It's like they're just like tossing it out there. Just like I noticed that a lot with people. So I could get that.
Yeah. And can I say we 2-parent home all my life. 2-parent home all my brothers.
Okay, my bad for that.
No, I just want to make that clear that that's not that. It's just when you have a mother, right? Whether she's loving, she could be overbearing. There's so many things that could play a part. It's not just a physical thing. It's not just I'm looking at a black woman and I just don't want to be with a black woman. No, it's traits. It's certain things. It could be a smell. It could be a look. It could be whatever that reminds him of our mother. So he doesn't want to wake up to that. Me, if I were to look at my husband and see anything resembling of my dad, I would not be with my fucking husband. To me, I don't want to date someone that replicas my dad. I don't want to date someone that replicas my brother doesn't want to date somebody that replicas his mom. A mom is a mom. I want to look at you as a mom. The person I lay next to, I want to look as a spouse. If I'm waking up and you remind me of my dad, ew.
I did want to say something.
I don't think that's.
Go ahead, PQ.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say something about the point that you said your brother said Mad Day when you said that, like they looked at them like they were nerds and things like that with black women. I just feel like it goes back to my point about what we desire and what we're truly desiring out here, whether it meets what we need or not. We desire something different, because for everywhere I've been where there's an alternative sector of black people, there are men and women in that sector. So to me, to say that you couldn't find a black woman that was into the same things that you were into is crazy to me, because literally every time and it is a small niche. I'm not saying that it's a big community of those alternative black people where I'm from. I'm from the hood, so, but even in the hood, when you have those alternative like black kids, there's always female there's male and female of that. So if you really wanted to, you would. It's not, I look at that like it's a cop out. I think the I think a lot of the times our children may get, for lack of better terms, mentally whitewashed, like through like media and stuff like that, and they think that, like, they think the things of wholesomeness apply to other races, and they don't see that in their own. I've noticed that a lot. And then also the proximity topic, where I know black men who were around mostly black people their whole lives. They never dated outside of their race, but then they got around others and they dated outside their race, and then returned back to black women after going out and venturing out. They returned back to black women. So I guess it's just it's a little bit of everything.
I can see that, but I have experience firsthand, like, where, like I said, my daughter don't date black boys, right? She doesn't. She just has a preference. She don't date black boys. However, in that preference, hold on, EQ, when she did meet a black guy, like, she did say, like, oh, mom, he seems like he's like, talking to him is like a business meeting, or, like, he wasn't rough and tough. Like, I don't know if it's rough and tough, but it just felt like, because he wasn't a certain way, that she didn't think it was like compatible, which it probably wasn't at the time. But I do think a lot of our daughters, because of what the culture that we grow up in, they may feel like, what I'm saying, this is how a man is supposed to be. So when you do meet a guy that is a black boy, that's like not into the streets, that's not doing certain things, they may do call him goofy and lame and corny. And then the girl over there don't call him goofy and lame and corny. And it may not be that he don't meet a lot of girls that look like him, but it's just like, okay, well, this girl didn't call me goofy, lame, and corny, but the black girls that I did see, they did. So, but those people didn't. So I just stay over here, maybe because of the experience of what they tried it, and then those women rejected them. But the women that didn't reject them may have been the women that didn't look like them, and that could very much be their experience as well.
Right.
T. So this is another thing. So this is one thing I would say about that also, just like what Proxy said, right?
You don't waste your turn.
I was already up here.
He was up here already.
Yeah, I was already up here. So what Proxy said, right? Because I remember growing up, and before we moved to the city, when I lived in the country, right? And then we moved to the city, it was a culture shock, right? I remember hearing black men say, hey, don't marry a black woman, that were married to black women, right? And they were saying, oh, because black women are loud and they got attitudes. When I was in the hood and I looked down the street, oh yeah, that black woman does have attitude. Damn, that black woman has attitude too. God darn, that black woman has attitude. But when I left and went to college and actually seen different black women, it wasn't the same. And I think what happens is a lot of black men, or black people, I should say, even some women, but
they take their experience and they make it totality.
And they keep, but they don't. What they do is that I believe that they continue to stay in that experience no matter where they go.
It might be
so how I look at it, like, if me personally, how I live my life now, I'm not in the club. I might be at a lounge. I may be somewhere where, hey, other black people that are like me, that act like me and are like me, I know exactly where to find them. Exactly. I think a lot of people just don't want to do the work, because it's a lot easier. It's easy to go, I don't date black women because they, back when I was in the 6th grade, she told me I had a nappy hair, and that's the reason why I don't date black women. Bro, you're 37 years old talking about something that happened in the 6th grade. What? So yeah.